One, you know how hard it can be. You're looking for someone you can trust, someone professional, and someone who's going to stick around. It's a problem everywhere. But a new model coming out of France called JamaCare is trying to fix this in a really radical way by totally rethinking who's actually in charge. Let's dig into how they do it. This is the promise right there on their website. It's simple, it's calming, and honestly, it's what every family is looking for. Peace of mind. But behind that simple sentence is a pretty complex and, well, brilliant business structure that completely redefines the roles for everyone involved. Exactly. At first glance, you might think, okay, I get it. Caregivers, clients, coordinators, seen it before. But the relationships between them, how they all connect, it's fundamentally different from any traditional agency. So how does this thing actually work? And what's the secret sauce that makes it so unique? Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll dive into the new model itself. Then, we'll get to know the three key players: the care manager, the care team, and, yup, the client. And finally, we'll take a quick look at the tech that helps hold this whole thing together. It all kicks off with the legal foundation. This entire system is only possible because of a specific French employment model that just flips everything on its head. It's called gré à gré. So here's the absolute game changer. Gré à gré literally means by mutual agreement, and what it does is kick the agency out of the middle. There is no agency employing the caregiver. The client, so the senior or their family, becomes the legal employer. This one change, this direct relationship, is the key that unlocks everything else. All right, take a look at this table. It lays out the three main ways home care works in France, and it just makes it so clear why JamaCare is different. See, way over on the right, you've got your standard agency, the prestataire. The agency is the boss. But look at gré à gré on the left. The client is the employer. The relationship is direct, they have total flexibility, and, this is critical, there is no value-added tax, no VAT. That alone is a massive difference in cost. So that begs the question, right? If the client is the employer and there's no traditional agency, who's organizing everything? Who's steering the ship? Well, that's where the care manager comes in. And they're not a manager in the way you might think. They're more like an independent entrepreneur, an architect building the whole service from the ground up. And this is their playbook. This is the official feuille de route, or roadmap, for anyone who wants to become a care manager. It's a full-on business plan. You start your own small company, you get marketing materials, you build your own small team of caregivers, and then you go find clients. They're the hub that makes it all work. And just to be crystal clear, we've got the actual paperwork right here. This is the contract a care manager signs with the central network Réseau AMA. And look at that key term, contrat de consultant. They are independent consultants. They are not employees. They're running their own business, just using the JamaCare brand and toolkit to do it. So what's the business deal? How does the central network get paid? It all comes down to this one number, 30%. The main network, Réseau AMA, gets a 30% cut from the care manager's coordination billing. Why? For providing the brand, the tools, the whole system. The care manager keeps the other 70%. It's basically a franchise, but for care. Okay, so we've got the client as the employer, the care manager as the coordinator. But what about the people at the very heart of this? The caregivers themselves. What's in it for them? Well, this is where the whole idea of the autonomous care team gets really interesting. This is a recruitment flyer for caregivers, and just look at the language. It's not your typical job ad. It talks about your future privileges. This isn't just a pitch for a job, it's a pitch that completely reframes the caregiver's role from just a worker to a valued professional member of a small, tight-knit team. And the difference? I mean, it is night and day. In a traditional agency model, caregivers often get stuck with lower pay and crazy unpredictable schedules. In this model, because there's no big agency taking a huge slice of the pie, caregivers can earn way more. The sources say up to 40% more. Plus, they get stable schedules and a real direct relationship with the person they're looking after. Let's really look at those privileges. Better pay. Obviously, that's number one. But it goes so much deeper. It's about professional respect. They get admin support from their care manager. They get access to training.
They're part of a small, local team, which means stabler hours and way less time spent driving all over town. It's a powerful way to show caregivers they're valued professionals.
Okay, so we've talked about the manager and the team. Let's look at the last piece of this three-part puzzle, the client. Now, they're the employer, which I know might sound a little scary, but the system is designed to give them all the control without all the headaches. So on paper, the client's official status is particulier employeur or private employer. And yeah, that means they are legally the one paying the salary. But, and this is the genius of it, the care manager acts like their personal HR department, handling all the administrative nightmares like contracts and payroll through a simple government system. So for the client, the benefits really come down to control and simplicity. You get the final say on who walks into your home. You get the stability of that same person showing up every day. And at the same time, all the complicated paperwork is done for you. They even handle the payroll through that CSU system, so you still get your 50% tax credit. It's the best of both worlds, total control, but with a full support system. Now, a model that's this decentralized, that's so focused on human relationships, it still needs a solid backbone to keep things running smoothly. And that's where a really smart set of tools comes in, blending that high-touch personal service with some high-tech support. The toolkit is pretty slick. Clients get a smart keychain for 24/7 safety with things like GPS and fall detection. There's an AI assistant that helps with scheduling and reminders. You've got that simplified government portal, CESU, making payroll a breeze. And they even use a program from the World Health Organization called ICOPE to help track key health functions. It's all very thought out. So when you put all of these pieces together, the direct employment, the entrepreneurial care manager, the empowered caregivers, and the supported client, you end up with a system that completely shifts the power dynamic. It's built from the ground up to give more autonomy, more value, and more dignity to every single person in that circle of care. Which, of course, leaves us with a huge question. By breaking down the old structures and empowering individuals at every single level, this model might just solve some of the biggest problems in the care industry, from low pay to lack of choice. So, is this it? Is giving more autonomy to everyone the real blueprint for the future of care? That's definitely something worth thinking about.